Okay, so we should have position 1 perfect by now. Yeah? And we should have practiced it like da 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 da. However, we like practicing it in so many different ways. People like Slash and Clapton and John Frusciante, they all just make up their own little patterns. Something to aim for in the future. Right, so what we're going to do now, I'm going to show you 5 little licks. These aren't based on any songs, just give you like a vague idea of how you can solo, yeah? So the first one is going to sound like this. So what we're doing, we're using our scale, so hopefully you know your scale by now. Yeah, we're going to start on the 7th fret of the A string, and we're going to go to the 5th fret of the D string, and back to the 7th of the A string. Yeah. So first little bit, 7th fret of the A, then we're going to the 5th fret of the D, back to the 7th fret of the A, then we go to the 5th fret of the D again, and 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, and then we finish on the 7th fret of the A. So really slowly as I talk through, so 7th fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the A, 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the D. And you can put a little vibrato, if you know how to do that, it's pretty much just wobbling the string. Like that. Right, cool. So the next lick we're going to do is going to sound like this. Right, so we're going to start to use our pinky now. So it's going to go. Yeah, so we're going to run down the scale from the highest note. Yeah, so 8th fret of the little E, 5th fret of the little E, 8th fret of the B, 5th fret of the B. Then what we're going to do, we're going to play the 5th fret of the G, hammer on. So you're using this 3rd finger and you're hitting the string on the 7th fret of the G as hard as you can with it. Or you can play them both separately. Then we play the 5th fret of the G again, and then finish off on the 7th fret of the D string. Notice we're always finishing on this note, which is an A. We could finish on that A or that A. This kind of resolves your little lick a little bit. So far we've got, and then we've got. The next little one is kind of a bluesy type lick. So what we're going to do, we're going to do a little bend on the 7th fret of the G, like that. You're going to bend it up and let it come down. Which is a lot of notes to take in really, so simplify it down a little bit. So go. Bend it up and back down, then we're playing the 5th fret of your B, then we flatten our finger and play the 5th fret of the E, and we play the 8th fret of the E, so, and we end on the 5th fret of the E, which is that A note. Yeah, so that's a little bluesy lick that you could throw in. Yeah. These licks, I'm not using any bends or anything. If you do know how to bend strings or hammer-ons or pull-offs or anything like that, practice them, yeah? Right, so we've got 3 licks. The 4th one is going to be... which is another kind of like bluesy, funk type lick. Kind of following the scale around, down from the 5th fret of the D string. So 5th fret of the D, 7th fret of the D, 5th fret of the G, 7th fret of the G, fret of the G, wobble it a bit, and then go back to the 7th fret of the D. Yeah, so that's the 4th lick. Last one, we're gonna. So that's the 4th lick. The last lick we're gonna do, we're gonna add in a little slide, and you can use this lick when we go on to position 2, right? So that's what the lick's gonna sound like. So we start on the 7th fret of the G string. We slide it down to the 9th fret. So like that. Then we use our 2nd finger to play the 8th fret of the B string. Yeah, so then we play the 9th fret of the G and slide it back up to the 7th. So then we're going to play the 5th fret of the G, wobble it a little bit, then we're going to finish off and play the 7th fret of the D. So hopefully, if you use those licks, you can get a little bit of an idea of how you can make music out of that solo, yeah? So hopefully, if you've watched all these videos through, you practice your scale, you can use these licks to start making some proper nice solos, yeah? So rather than just playing your scale up and down, you can now start to play stuff, which is me just joining up those licks that I've just shown you. Yeah. Once you've played those licks over and over and over and over again, and you've got a little bit bored of them, you can change the order of them. Play the notes in a different order, but still try and keep that feel. Yeah. So rather than you go. So we've got the same notes, but we've done a couple of bends. We've changed where we start. We've changed where we finish. Yeah, so be a little bit creative with it like that, and then hopefully we can move on to position 2. Right, catch you in the next lesson.